What's going on, you guys? Welcome back, and we are back on the Silver Bullet. Last time we played with this thing, we upgraded, put a smaller head gasket on there, upgraded the springs, played around with the carburetor a little bit, did some 60-foot times and lap times around the yard. So today what we're going to do is we're going to try to fix some of the problem we had last time with running out of carburetor. I do have a brand new carburetor for this, new carburetor, new intake, and we're going to step it up a bit. We're going to get a top speed run on this thing, me, Seth, and we'll go grab a helmet. We'll get Delilah on it too. She'll get a top speed run, see how fast each one of us can get this go, depending on, of course, our body weights. Then we'll get it back up to the shop. We're going to yank the head off it again, clean everything up. We're going to port the intake a little bit to open it up to allow for some more air. That was actually a suggestion by one of the comments on the previous video of this go-kart. So we're going to port it, go ahead and put the head back on, install our new carburetor and all that neat stuff, get some more top speed runs, and just see how this thing performs. So we'll go ahead and hand this off to Delilah. I'm going to grab my... I thought he had it ready. He's just as bad as me. So we're gonna get a top speed with me on it, and then we're gonna change off. So here we go. Here you go, Lala. Ready? Yeah. So there's my top speed run. Before I actually put these kids on there, give me a second, we're gonna get the helmet, so I'll be right back. All right, Seth's got his helmet. His little stopwatch thing is all reset, so go. Looked like he was booking it. What do you got? What do you got? Oh dang, 47.3. Heck yeah. Got a quicker top speed than I did. So, right on. Hey, do me a favor, put this up in the yard right here. Delilah has never ridden this thing before, so we're going to go ahead and still get her top speed, but she's going to do a few laps in the front yard there just so we can make sure everything goes right for her. So see you guys up here on top. Alright, she has her helmet on. She has never ridden this thing before. I didn't know that. I thought she was riding it when this guy was, but guess not. So we're going to take it easy. Just showed her where the gas and the brake was. So whenever you're ready, go. Oh my goodness. Turn. Maybe we might want to think about a different helmet in the future. Or get her one of those like airplane pillows to keep her neck from bouncing around. There we go. Lap number 2 coming around. Yeah, she's doing pretty good now. Getting better than the first lap. You have fun? Did you have fun? That was so fun! All right, now we're gonna get this thing up in front of the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and yank the head off it, get all down to the head, get the bare head going. You guys see me pull the head off in the last video we did with this thing, so I'm gonna skip all that. We're gonna go straight to pull the head off, so I'll be right back. All right, head is off. As you see, it is all torn apart. I've got our head sitting here. We have the valves removed. And if you can see, already tell how rich this thing was running. You can see how black it is. And if you remember from the last time we tore this apart, let's get that. Ooh, that was already at the top. There. You see how black the top of that piston is. This thing ran much, much cleaner last time around. It actually was running fairly decent, but as you can see, it's still way on the rich side, so. Anyways, we already knew that. Here is our new carburetor, in case I hadn't shown that already. It has here's our nifty little intake manifold. Seth, open that up. Here's our new air cleaner. Does not need to be open. Throttle cable. And now, here is our new 22mm Mikuni knockoff. I will put a link to this in the description in case you guys are wanting to do the same thing. But they're fairly cheap. Like I said, yes, it is a knockoff because if it works, right? Now, if you want to compare, Seth, hold that. Stock carburetor. Yep. Oh, yeah, side by side. Let's see. Aftermarket. Ooh, much more airflow. Should work out fairly well, but in order to get all that air into this engine, I have got my little die grinder here with an aluminum bit on it. And what I'm going to do, if we can get down there and see, what I want to do is I want to open this edge up, just kind of curve it out a little bit and open up these sides. Let's see here, because if you look down in there, it is fairly restricted, right? There's not a whole lot of opening there. So I just want to get in there, open that up as much as I can to get more air into the chamber. And I will switch over to this bit right here to go in and polish up our exhaust side. As you can see, it is fairly dirty. It is a much larger opening than our intake, so all I'm really going to do is just open it up a little bit and give it a polish or smooth it out some more to help exhaust flow out quicker. So there's our intake. Much bigger than the original one. Let's see here. So that little carburetor flowed through this little plastic guy here and ended up, let's see. So it went through this guy here, got choked off even more there, and then you can see how small our little gasket into the head was. So it progressively got smaller as it went towards the head, which might explain why I couldn't get a whole lot of air or just ran out of tuning. So I'm gonna get you set up on the little tripod here. I'm gonna go ahead and open that head up just a little bit more, and then we'll get to reinstalling and putting on our new carburetor. All right, we got our head all ported up, Got the intake ported. Actually, it's considerably larger than what it was. The exhaust, I just kind of, it's opened up maybe just a little bit, but for the most part, we just polished it. And I dimpled the intake runner. Now, I don't know, I've seen it done on a lot of imports, and this being a Harbor Freight engine, it's an import. So, here's what we got. So, I'll show you the exhaust side. So as you can see, the exhaust, I just used this little guy here, kind of went in, opened it up just a little bit, and kept going back and forth, just to kind of clean it up a little bit all the way around, smooth out the edges. There you go. So it's got a nice, good path. Now, let's go ahead and go to the intake side. So you can see, I just put a bunch of little dimples. From what I've read, the theory is fuel and air hit it, kind of slams into the little edge, makes it tumble faster. It's supposed to break it up more. But if you remember what it looked like before we ported it, that is a much larger opening, and that should definitely help air and fuel get inside there. So I'm hoping that it flows pretty good and this wasn't just a complete waste of time. If it was, no big deal. We'll go on eBay, we'll get ourselves another head. I think they're like 25 bucks. I've seen them on there for a bare casting, and we could start all over and do it again. Right, Seth?
Yeah.
It's just to have fun, see what we can do with these things. So I will put a link to the last video we did with this when we changed the head gasket, springs, and all that stuff. That has all the torques, specs, has the bolts that we had to remove, and the what I gapped the rockers to and everything, and how to put the springs on. So I will put a link to that in somewhere up here somewhere, and I'll do that in the try to do that in the description as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you on the tripod. We'll time lapse this thing, getting it put back together, and then we'll fire it up and see how it sounds. All right, go-kart is back together. Carburetor is installed, and there she is right there. Delilah, go ahead and hit the gas pedal for me. We'll show full throttle. Yeah, and if you look in there, everything lines up pretty good. Definitely a lot more airflow than the factory carburetor had. So, we got it on jack stands right now. We're gonna go ahead and attempt to fire it up, see how it idles. Now, if you are wondering and you don't want to go back and watch the last video, the head is torqued down to 17 foot-pounds, and you adjust the valve lash around 8 thousandths, 8 to 10 thousandths. I did 8 thousandths last time, 10 thousandths this time, just to see if that makes any difference. I'll go ahead and show off the carburetor real quick. So there's our neat little anodized red intake manifold. That thing's actually really cool. The kit comes with a base gasket, 4 Allen bolts, and 2 10 millimeter nuts. Now the longer Allens and nuts are to secure carburetor to the manifold, as you can see. Then you have 2 shorter ones that go into the head. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I accidentally put one of the longer ones in the head, and I had to take it back apart. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and give the camera to Delilah. She's gonna record. We're gonna fire this thing up. Once we got it running, we like how it sounds, then we'll go do some more top speed runs, see how this thing runs after the head's been ported. So here we go, Delilah. It's all you. All right. Gas is on. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn the choke on. I'm gonna turn this off. See if I can't pull some fuel in there. on. Shut the choke off. Alright, maybe I'll turn it back on. Let's turn the idle up. Because I do have the idle screw back all the way out. On the ground. Seth, go ahead and get in it. Let's put our air cleaner on too, of course. Yeah, nice little red air cleaner. Should definitely flow a lot more. All right. Fire it back up. Get you on the brake. Grab a helmet. All right. As you can see, Seth's got his helmet on. We're going to go ahead and lug this thing. Or actually, I'll let him ride it down to the street. Maybe put it around the yard real quick, just to kind of see, make sure our throttle's set, make sure it feels pretty good. And so I'll see you guys down at the end of the driveway here, and we'll start doing some, well, we'll do some top speed runs again. We'll see how fast I can go, and then we'll see how fast this kid can go, see if he can beat his, what was it, 47?
47.3.
47 point, he's down to the point. 47.3 miles an hour, so see you guys here in a second. All right, we are down here getting ready to do our top speed run. You got your little thing all reset, Seth?
Yeah.
You ready? Yep. Hey, even if it doesn't pick up any speed, the way this thing sounds right now so far, I think we're gonna be okay. So, go when you're ready, bud. All right, well, I'm in the truck because Seth called me. I think he broke it. I think the kid broke it. So he's down here by the lake. I'm gonna roll up on him right now, throw that thing in the back of the truck. We'll get it back up to the shop and then see if we can't figure out what happened. So again, I'll be back in a sec. What'd you do?
Sure.
What's it doing?
Something in there went ping and then it started smoking.
Something in there went ping and then it started smoking?
Yes.
Oh. Well, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. There's nothing in there. There's no compression. I think we'll know for sure. We'll go ahead and get it in the back of the truck, get it up to the shop. I'll pull the valve cover off, and then we'll see if it didn't throw something. So, see you at the shop. All right, we are back in front of the shop, and as you can see here, I've got the valve cover off. I've also went ahead and removed the spark plug. me show you guys how it was running. As you can see, it was running actually pretty good. Believe it or not, that spark plug was pitch black, was black. When we put it in, I did clean it up a little bit and we pulled it out. You can see I finally got the jetting where everything was, seems like it was running good. Here's part of the what happened when Seth said he heard a big bang. Blew the exhaust apart. Now I'll pull this over so you can see the rockers are still working. So that part is still connected. But I'm gonna come over here, grab my little Phillips screwdriver, go here, see if I can touch the top of the piston. There it is. So I just push the piston all the way down, pull this, oh, just wedged it in there. I think that's about it though. Yep, just enough. So I ran the crank into the bottom of the piston. So the little guy, trying to get the fastest speed he could get, kicked the rod out of it. Cool thing is it didn't bust the case, so didn't lose any oil anywhere. It just busted the rod from what it sounds like. I will have to get the engine out of this cart, tear it down completely to see exactly how bad it broke. I don't know, really. I should order a billet rod, which is something I am going to do. As a matter of fact, we are going to get another engine for this. We are going to get a billet rod. Hopefully the head's savable, nothing happened to the head. Carburetor setup, all that. Because I will tell you, it was running much, much better. It felt like it definitely had a lot of power. I believe we are overpowering the torque converter now because it will pull the belt so far down it was getting stuck. So something I have to look into as well. Maybe just switch over to a centrifugal clutch. Plus I think you get better top speeds out of that anyways, from what I understand. So, and you know, just to give you kind of an idea in case nobody's ever had one of these little things apart, this is the rod that goes in these engines. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is a cast rod. It's just cast aluminum. It has no bearings. It all rides just on this surface right here. So what this little guy does is it spins around, flings the oil up. You're hoping oil falls in this little guy here. And that is the only oiling it gets between the crank and this little journal here. That's the only oiling it gets. The billet rod, kind of the same thing, except the little scooper on it is like a spoon. It actually, when it hits the oil with the little end, it forces oil up the dipper into the rod, oiling bearings. It actually, billet rod actually gets a set of bearings. So, you know, kind of a neat little piece of information, just something in case you've never done it. So this thing is done. I will, like I said, we will grab another engine. I will order a billet rod. So I hope you guys have learned something, because I did. If I do this again, which I won't, but if I do, I'll leave the stock springs in it. That way they can't rev it out so far. I think that's what killed it. That's what did it in. But it did run very, very, very well at that RPM. So anyways, go ahead and get myself cleaned up, get all this stuff put away. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope this shows you about the limitations of it. Go ahead and get the carb. Go ahead and have some fun with the thing. Just don't put 24-pound springs in it. Or leave it bone stock and have a lot more fun with it for a lot longer. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Leave a comment or question down below. Thank you guys again for hanging out. And I'll catch you on the next one.